Have you ever rummaged through a box of old coins, hoping to stumble upon a hidden treasure? What if I told you that one specific nickel could be worth a staggering $1.1 million? That's right. The 1996 mint mark Jefferson Nickel isn't just any coin, it's a potential gold mine hiding in plain sight. Stick around as we uncover the secrets of this rare find and what it means for you. You're cleaning out your attic and come across an old coin collection, gathering dust for years. You remember collecting coins as a child, the excitement it brought you. But now, that childhood hobby could be the key to a wealthy lifestyle. What if you found a 1996 Monticello nickel? Would you know its worth? This isn't just a coin, it's a rare specimen that collectors would fight over. And you could be sitting on a small fortune. But wait. What if you missed out on this opportunity? Imagine watching someone else cash in on their coin collection while you let yours languish. The fear of missing out is real. But today, you're going to learn how to turn that fear into excitement. Let's dive deeper into what makes the 1996 mint mark Jefferson Nickel so special. At first glance, it might seem like just another coin in your collection. However, there's a reason why this nickel is fetching prices in the millions. It all boils down to rarity, condition, and demand. You see, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Jefferson nickels in 1996. However, a very limited number of them were struck at the Denver Mint with a D mint mark that carries specific errors. Collectors and investors alike have been on the lookout for these coins, pushing their market value higher and higher. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can I tell if my nickel is one of them? Don't worry. We'll get to that. But first, let's pause for a moment. Have you ever seen a coin that looked like it was run over by a train? You know those well-loved nickels? I think even my cat could recognize those as not valuable. But here's the real kicker. While many nickels might be worth just 5 cents, the 1996 mint mark could potentially change your life. So, how do you spot the difference? Now, let's talk about what to look for. First, check for the mint mark on the back of the coin. If you see a D, you're off to a great start. Next, examine the condition. Coins that are uncirculated or in mint condition are worth significantly more. You don't want to just leave it to chance. Every little detail matters. But don't think it's too late. There's still time for you to check your collections, and I can feel the excitement building. The thrill of finding something so valuable is indescribable. And here's a fun fact. If you're lucky enough to find a 1996 nickel with specific errors, you could be looking at a windfall that could change your financial future. Can you imagine what you could do with that kind of money? Now, here comes the most important part. How do you sell this coin? You might be thinking, is it worth selling? What if I can get more later? The urgency here is real. The market is unpredictable, and the longer you wait, the greater the chance you could miss out. Connect with a reputable coin dealer who specializes in rare coins. Get an appraisal and understand the current market value. Don't hesitate to sell when the price is right. Remember, fortune favors the bold. Now, let's create a little urgency. If you have this coin, there's a growing community of collectors eager to get their hands on it. Don't let them beat you to the punch. As we wrap up, I want you to think about your own coin collection. Go check that old box. It could change your life. The 1996 mint mark Jefferson Nickel isn't just a coin, it's a ticket to a new lifestyle, a way to unlock your financial dreams. So, will you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, or will you take action? The choice is yours. Make it count. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more valuable insights, and share your thoughts in the comments. What treasures are hiding in your collection? Today, we're diving deep into a coin that might just be lurking in your collection, the 1981 mint mark Monticello Jefferson Nickel. You may think it's just another nickel, but what if I told you that this little piece of metal could be worth a staggering $1.4 million? Stick around to find out how this coin can turn your old change into a wealth-building opportunity. Imagine rummaging through an old drawer or flipping through a box of forgotten coins. Among the pennies and dimes, your eyes land on a nickel. At first glance, it seems ordinary, just another 1981 Jefferson nickel. But what if I told you this nickel, with its distinct P mint mark, holds a secret? In the world of coin collecting, many people overlook the potential value of their old change. We often focus on quarters, dimes, and even pennies, forgetting about the Jefferson nickel. But here's the catch. The 1981 P mint mark nickel is not your average coin. As you dive deeper into the world of rare coins, you'll find that certain mint marks can signify incredible value. The 1981 P mint mark, produced in Philadelphia, is known for its rarity and collector demand. But why is it so valuable? That's the million-dollar question. Or in this case, the $1.4 million question. Now, before you start counting your change, let's talk about urgency. In the coin collecting world, timing is everything. The market for rare coins can fluctuate, and what might be worth a fortune today could drop significantly tomorrow. This is where fear plays a role. What if you hold on to this coin too long and miss your chance to cash in? Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for rare coins, and the demand for the 1981 P mint mark is rising. The excitement of a potential sale can be exhilarating. Imagine the possibilities: a luxurious vacation, paying off debts, or even upgrading your lifestyle. But hold on. Before you rush to sell, you need to ensure you understand your coin's true worth. Many sellers fall into the trap of undervaluing their coins or not knowing how to authenticate them. To navigate this market, you need to be informed and ready to act. Here's a quick tip. If you think you have a 1981 P mint mark nickel, don't just toss it aside. Look for key indicators: the mint mark's location, the coin's condition, and any unique characteristics that may enhance its value. Now, imagine the excitement of finding a coin that could change your financial future. What would you do with $1.4 million? Would you invest, travel, or finally buy that dream home? As we wrap up, let's address the key takeaways. The 1981 P mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel is more than just pocket change. It's a treasure waiting to be discovered. But remember, the clock is ticking. To maximize your potential profits, seek out professional appraisals and connect with experienced coin dealers. The market is full of buyers eager for rare coins, but they won't wait forever. Your moment to seize this opportunity could be just around the corner. And here's a cliffhanger for you. What other coins are hiding in your collection, waiting for you to unlock their value? We'll dive into more rare coins in our upcoming videos, so don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. As we conclude, take a moment to reflect. What if today is the day you turn that old nickel into a new life? Don't let fear hold you back. The world of coin collecting is not just about the coins, it's about the dreams they can help you achieve. Thank you for joining us today. Keep exploring, keep collecting, and remember, your next treasure could be right in your pocket. Did you know that the humble nickel in your pocket could be worth more than a mansion? That's right, the 1964 no mint mark Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin that may have once casually changed hands in a coffee shop or a gas station, is now one of the most sought-after coins in the world, valued at over $1.5 million. So, stick around as we reveal how an ordinary coin turned into a treasure worth millions, and why you might just have one sitting unnoticed in your collection. Let's take a step back to 1964, a transformative year for American coinage. While the world was dancing to the Beatles, the U.S. Mint was busy producing one of the most widely circulated nickels of all time, the Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it looked like any other nickel, with Thomas Jefferson's stern profile on the obverse and his iconic Monticello home on the reverse. It was just another coin, right? Wrong. You see, this wasn't just any nickel. In 1964, the Mint produced an unprecedented number of nickels in response to a nationwide coin shortage, meaning these coins were circulated far and wide. And here's where it gets interesting. Not all 1964 nickels were created equal. Some had no mint mark. And among them, a handful had a unique, mysterious feature that would make them wildly valuable decades later. But before we dive into that, here's something to think about. If this coin has been in circulation for over 50 years, just how rare could it be to find one in pristine condition today? Well, as you're about to discover, rarity, and condition are only part of what makes this coin so valuable. The real intrigue lies in something hidden in plain sight. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this nickel worth more than a luxury car? Excellent question. The answer lies in its scarcity combined with its distinctive error. Due to an anomaly at the mint, certain 1964 nickels, particularly those without a mint mark, were struck with unusual precision, featuring almost impeccable details in Jefferson's hair and the architectural lines of Monticello. But there's more. Some of these coins, due to a rare error, were struck using proof dies intended only for collectors' coins. These proof-like strikes created an incredibly sharp image and a glistening finish that sets them apart from every other nickel produced that year. Imagine this. If you happen to own one of these coins, you could be sitting on a piece of numismatic history, potentially worth up to $1.5 million. Now, wouldn't that be a life-changing discovery? It's a bit funny, isn't it? 1 minute, it's just a nickel. The next minute, it could buy you a beachfront condo in Miami. So, before you let any nickel slip away unnoticed, you might want to give it a second, very close look. But wait, before you go rummaging through your pocket change, let's talk specifics. What should you look for? And more importantly, how can you make sure you get top dollar if you do find one? Here's where things get thrilling. Finding one of these coins isn't easy. Only a handful have ever been discovered, and they're all in near-perfect condition. So, the first step is to check for the absence of a mint mark, which would typically indicate it was minted in Philadelphia. Then, look for the proof-like qualities, a sharp design, gleaming surfaces, and fine details in both Jefferson's profile and Monticello's structure. If you spot these, you might just be holding something incredibly rare. And here's a crucial tip for would-be sellers. The coin market, especially for high-value pieces, can be ruthless. Finding a genuine expert to authenticate and appraise your coin is key. You don't want to risk selling it for less than its true worth. Remember, you're not just selling a coin, you're selling a historical artifact, a piece of Americana. Imagine what you could do with $1.5 million. How would that change your life? Pay off your mortgage? Start that business you've always dreamed of? Or simply kick back and enjoy the wealth you never knew was right in your hands? But before you start planning that vacation, there's one final thing you need to know, something that could make or break your potential fortune. Because the value of your coin isn't just about rarity, it's about timing. Here's the truth, coins like this are as much about timing as they are about rarity. The market for rare coins has its ups and downs, and right now, with collectors and investors scrambling for unique items, demand is high. That's why some collectors are willing to pay millions for a single coin. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare 1964 no-mint mark nickels, the best time to act might be right now. So, take this as your wake-up call. Go through your collection, check those nickels, and if you think you've found a winner, don't hesitate. This could be your golden ticket. The journey of a single coin, from spare change to millionaire-making treasure, is nothing short of incredible. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, you're the next lucky person who'll discover a fortune where you least expect it. Today's episode might just change your life. Picture this. A single coin sitting quietly in your collection could be worth a staggering $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, a Jefferson Nickel. Stick around as we explore the remarkable story of the 1987 mint mark Monticello nickel, its current market value, and how you might just stumble upon your own fortune. Imagine going through your coins, perhaps while listening to your favorite music, or even while binge-watching a classic series. You casually sift through pennies and nickels, feeling a bit nostalgic. But wait! What if I told you that within those very coins could lie an incredible opportunity? The 1987 mint mark Monticello Jefferson Nickel, produced at the Philadelphia Mint, is not just another piece of pocket change. It was minted during a time when coins were not made with the same precision we see today. With the right set of circumstances, this nickel has emerged as a collector's dream. So why is this coin so valuable? There are a few key factors at play. The rarity of the 1987 nickel, combined with its unique minting errors, has created a buzz in the coin collecting community. Some may even call it a Sleeping giant. The fear of missing out on this treasure could ignite a spark in you. Just think, a coin that many dismiss could be the very key to a wealthier lifestyle. Now, let's dive deeper into what makes this nickel worth $1.5 million. Collectors are always on the lookout for specific details: the condition, mint marks, and any unique characteristics that set a coin apart. The 1987 P nickel has gained attention not only for its rarity but also for the possibility of unique varieties that collectors cherish. But here's a little humor to lighten the mood. What do you call a coin collector who's missing this nickel? A nickel-less wonder. But in all seriousness, failing to recognize the value of such coins could leave you wondering, what if? A fear that many collectors live with. As we explore the market trends, it becomes evident that the demand for rare coins has skyrocketed. The excitement around coin collecting has drawn in investors and hobbyists alike. Recent auction results have showcased stunning prices, and this nickel is often at the forefront of these discussions. You might think, is it really possible that my coin could be sitting on that same pedestal? Absolutely. Now, what if I told you that finding the right buyer at the right time could lead to an incredible sale? Many collectors have shared stories of turning a simple nickel into a down payment on a new home, or even a dream vacation. The urgency of this market means that today could be the day you take action. As we reach the climax of our journey, let's discuss what you can do if you suspect you have this rare nickel. First, check your collection. Look for the 1987 P mint mark. If you find it, inspect it closely for any unique characteristics or errors. And here's the cliffhanger: what if your nickel turns out to be in pristine condition, or even a special variety? The excitement builds as you consider the possibilities. You may have a hidden fortune that could allow you to live the wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of. So, what's next? Do your research, connect with fellow collectors, or even consult a professional appraiser. The market is buzzing, and opportunities are ripe for the taking. Don't let fear hold you back. Take charge and see where this journey leads you. As we wrap up, remember this: every coin tells a story, and the 1987 P mint mark Monticello Jefferson Nickel is no exception. Whether you're looking to sell old and rare pennies or simply want to explore the fascinating world of numismatics, the possibilities are endless. So go ahead, dive into that change jar, and who knows? You might just discover your own $1 million nickel waiting to be unearthed. Are you ready to uncover a hidden treasure worth a staggering $1.3 million? If you've ever rummaged through your old coin collection or inherited a dusty box of change, you might just have something extraordinary on your hands. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1986 mint mark Monticello Jefferson Nickel, an unassuming coin that could change your life forever. You're going through your grandmother's belongings after her passing. Among the trinkets and dusty old books, you discover a small box filled with coins. Some of them look familiar, but one catches your eye: a 1986 Jefferson Nickel. You think, this can't be worth much, can it? That's where many people go wrong. This seemingly ordinary coin is not just a piece of history, it's a potential goldmine. But why is this nickel so special? Minted in Denver, the 1986 nickel holds a unique place in numismatic history. There are various mint marks, but not all are created equal. In fact, the D mint mark versions are particularly sought after, and a few rare specimens have sold for unbelievable prices. This is where the excitement builds. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How can a nickel be worth so much? Well, let's take a step back. The world of coin collecting is rife with stories of people who have turned ordinary finds into life-changing fortunes. Did you know that a simple misprint can send a coin's value skyrocketing? Let's talk about rarity. The 1986 nickel may not have the mystique of the 1909 SVDD penny, but it possesses its own charm and intrigue. While most were minted and circulated, a select few escaped the mint in pristine condition. These coins, when graded highly, can fetch astonishing prices. Picture yourself attending a local coin show. You meet collectors and dealers who share their stories of finding nickels just like yours. One dealer tells you about a man who bought a 1986 Jefferson nickel for just a few bucks at a yard sale. He had it graded, and to his shock, it turned out to be worth over $1 million. The thrill of the chase is palpable. Now, if you're not careful, you might overlook the signs of value. A worn coin won't cut it, but what about that shiny one tucked away in your drawer? Is it just a lucky find, or could it be your ticket to financial freedom? Have you ever thought your old change jar could lead to a life of luxury? If only pennies could talk, right? They'd probably say, "Put me in a safe place and call a collector." As we near the end of our journey, it's time to address the urgency. The market for rare coins is rapidly changing. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for their next big find, and your 1986 Monticello Jefferson Nickel could be the key to unlocking your wealth. Imagine being able to sell that coin for enough money to finally take that dream vacation or invest in your future. But the clock is ticking. With every passing day, the chances of finding someone who values your coin at its true worth are slipping away. So, how do you know if your nickel is one of the rare gems? Stay tuned as we reveal the secret signs that distinguish a regular coin from a treasure worth millions. By the end of this video, you'll not only have the knowledge to identify valuable coins but also the inspiration to dive into the world of numismatics with confidence. Because every coin has a story, and yours might just be the next great tale of fortune and discovery. If you've enjoyed this journey, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more insights into the world of rare coins. And remember, the next time you look at your change, think twice, because you could be sitting on a gold mine. Have you ever held a coin in your hand, felt its cool weight, and wondered, could this tiny piece of metal change my life? Imagine a single nickel, a simple, unassuming 1985 Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson Nickel, being valued today at over $1.3 million. Yes, you heard right. This everyday nickel from decades ago, possibly sitting in your pocket change right now, might just be your ticket to a life of financial freedom and luxury. In the next 10 minutes, you'll find out exactly how and why a coin like this could be worth more than most people's homes. Let's start by unraveling a mystery. Jefferson nickels have been in circulation since 1938, featuring a unique combination of metal, design, and history. But in 1985, a seemingly regular minting in Philadelphia created something far from ordinary. This coin carries a P mark, a detail that may seem trivial, but could be the very detail setting it apart from all others. Now, why should this matter to you? Here's the deal: collectors and enthusiasts prize coins with certain features, mint marks, historical context, and yes, even minting anomalies. Coins that at first glance seem perfectly normal can end up being rare treasures. And with the rising demand for historical currency, these rare coins become magnets for astronomical value, pulling in thousands or even millions of dollars. Just imagine, all that from something most people ignore in their daily transactions. Now, this begs the question: how could a nickel, pocket change in the truest sense, transform into a multi-million-dollar asset? Before we dive in, just think about this. How often do you let your loose change pile up on your counter or get stuck between couch cushions? What if that lost nickel could literally buy you a mansion? This is where things get exciting. A typical 1985 Jefferson nickel, if worn or circulated, might not seem valuable. But a pristine, untouched version of this coin, especially with the right mint mark and quality rating, is what can catapult it to million-dollar status. You see, in the coin collecting world, rarity isn't just about age, it's about condition, minting errors, and limited production runs. And the 1985 Mint Mark Jefferson Nickel? Well, it checks off all these boxes. Let's talk details. What should you look for if you're rummaging through old boxes or searching through that piggy bank? Firstly, you'll want the Mint mark, signifying it was minted in Philadelphia. But more crucially, the coin should be in near-perfect condition. In collector's terms, that's a MS68 grade or higher, which means it's nearly flawless, as if it was minted yesterday. These high-grade coins are rare because very few coins leave the mint in pristine condition. Most end up scratched, dulled, or even discarded. So, when collectors and auction houses come across an original, high-quality 1985 Mint Mark nickel, it's like striking gold. And that's where the magic of exponential value happens. But there's one more factor that makes this coin particularly desirable, And it's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, the true $1,000,000 tipping point. I'll reveal this in just a moment. Hold on a second. Are you now eyeing your loose change jar? Stay with me. We're just about to reveal what gives this coin such a powerful allure. Now, here's the kicker. You may have seen that one rare coin set the market on fire recently, selling at a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. So, what made that particular coin stand out? Two reasons: provenance and condition. This 1985 P-mint marked Jefferson Nickel had been preserved in a near-mint state and held by a private collector for years before it ever hit the auction block. When it was finally put up for auction, the rarity combined with its condition made it an instant sensation. It was a coin that not only encapsulated history but had become almost mythical in its pristine, untouched state. Imagine for a moment if you were holding onto a similar coin, knowing that its worth could jump drastically with the right buyer or the right timing. Knowing that collectors out there would pay a fortune to have it in their possession. Imagine what that would mean for you, what doors it could open, what dreams it could fund, and that brings us back to you. Now you're probably thinking, is it really possible for me to stumble upon such a coin? Could my ordinary be someone else's extraordinary? The answer is absolutely, and here's how to go about it. Start by inspecting your coin collections, focusing on high-quality Jefferson Nickels from the 1980s, especially 1985. The rarer the coin, the more pristine it is, and the more historical significance it carries, the higher the chances of finding something of immense value. Doesn't it feel a little thrilling to imagine discovering a hidden fortune sitting right under your nose? So, what's next? Check every nickel in your collection. You never know, maybe that unassuming 1985 P-mint marked Jefferson Nickel could be your ticket to financial freedom. And for those of you with old coin collections tucked away, now is the time to act. Because the market for rare coins is only heating up, and as the old saying goes, you don't know the value of something until it's gone. And who knows? Maybe your next discovery will be the one we're talking about next, the one that skyrockets in value. So go on, take a second look at those coins, because sometimes the smallest treasures are the ones with the biggest impact. Imagine finding a single coin that could change your life. A piece of history so rare, so valuable, that collectors are willing to pay up to $1 million for it. Yes, you heard that right. $1 million for a single coin you might have sitting in a jar at home. And today, we're going to dive into the story of one such treasure, the elusive 2002 D-mint mark Monticello Jefferson Nickel. A nickel worth more than most cars. Why? What's the secret behind its massive value, and how can you tell if you've got one? Stay tuned, because the answer might just shock you. Well, think about it. If you could turn a 5-cent coin into a small fortune, would you do it? If you just got chills, you're not alone. So, what makes a 2002 D Monticello Jefferson Nickel worth its weight in gold? To understand, let's start with what this coin is. It's a common coin minted in Denver in 2002. In fact, millions of these coins were made, but out of all those, only a few rare ones possess the qualities that collectors would pay a fortune for. And here's the kicker. Many people have no idea that they've got a rare one. It could be sitting in an old jar, in a forgotten drawer, or maybe, right in your pocket. But here's where the story gets really interesting. Not all 2002 D Monticello nickels are worth the big bucks. Only a handful have a very specific set of features. Imagine the excitement of discovering you've been holding on to something this valuable without even knowing it, all because of a few rare quirks. And we're going to show you exactly what to look for. Now, just imagine pulling out a magnifying glass and suddenly feeling like a treasure hunter on a mission, or better yet, one of those spy movies where they're checking for secret codes. Now, to the good part. What sets these high-value nickels apart? Collectors are especially drawn to coins with unique characteristics, an unusual strike, misprints, or even oddities like double die features. But for the 2002 D nickel, it's all about perfection, rarity, and subtle details. Imagine the thrill of holding one of these rare coins, knowing collectors are clamoring to buy. But here's the catch. Only a few of these nickels ever make it to market. Why? Because most people don't even know they're sitting on a gold mine. So what can you do right now? Take a moment, yes, literally right now, to check those drawers, those old purses, those jars of coins. Imagine the life you could build with that extra income, a vacation home, an early retirement, the freedom to do whatever you want. And what if you find one? Well, let's just say the process of selling it is another story, with a few twists and turns to make sure you get what it's truly worth. It's not as simple as showing up at your local bank, of course. And there are some crucial steps you need to take to make sure you're not shortchanged. So, if you're serious about learning more and taking the steps to potentially cash in on this treasure, make sure you stay tuned until the end. Because coming up, I'll reveal exactly how you can confirm the value, protect your investment, and, if you're lucky enough to have one, sell it for the maximum price. And hey, if you're already pulling out that magnifying glass, just know you're in good company. Join the club of treasure hunters around the world, all hoping for that one big find. Remember, opportunities like this don't come every day. So what are you waiting for? That old jar of coins isn't going to check itself. Go on, give it a look. You may just find that one in a million coin you never even knew you had. Because sometimes, a small discovery can lead to the life you've always dreamed of. Imagine finding a nickel worth over $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single nickel, one you could have held without ever realizing its immense value. Today, we're diving into the story behind a 1998 P. Monticello Jefferson Nickel. Its value? An eye-popping $1.1 million. And here's the thing, people are actively hunting for this coin, hoping it's hiding somewhere in their collection, or maybe even in their pocket change. But this isn't just any nickel. It's a rare, era-stricken treasure that has collectors buzzing. So, what makes this small coin command such a jaw-dropping price? Let's take a closer look at the mystery, the history, and the value behind this million-dollar masterpiece. And stick around. You might just be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. First things first. Why would anyone pay $1 million for a nickel? Well, like any rare artifact, it's all about uniqueness. Most 1998 nickels were minted in standard fashion, but a handful of them had something special, an error in the minting process that rendered them unlike any other. This tiny flaw turned them into the equivalent of rare gems among collectors. Now, before you start dusting off your old piggy banks, remember this, it's not just any old nickel. Only the ones with the unique P Mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint, and crucially, with an unusually crisp Monticello engraving are worth this much. But that's not all. Here's where it gets even more interesting. These coins have to be in near-perfect condition to hit that 7-figure mark. Imagine having an old friend who's stayed young forever, pristine, untouched, almost as if time hasn't touched it. That's the kind of nickel we're talking about here. Could you be holding on to one of these rare nickels without knowing it? I'll explain how to tell, so don't leave just yet. So, here's what you should look for to see if you've hit the coin collector's jackpot. Check your 1998 nickel for the P Mint mark. Then, inspect the Monticello engraving. If it's incredibly clear with sharp details, you may be holding on to something valuable. The last test? Condition. If it's in pristine, uncirculated shape, with barely a scratch on it, you just might have a winner. Now I know some of you are about to run out the door and start hunting for nickels, but bear with me here. Because if you're lucky enough to find one of these, your life could change. Imagine being able to sell this one nickel for the kind of money that could buy a luxury car, or maybe even a home in some areas. That's the power of rarity, and that's the world of serious coin collectors. Before you go coin hunting though, here's the big question, what would you do if you stumbled upon $1 million nickel? Would you hold on to it, waiting for its value to climb even higher? Or cash out and take the money? Because in the end, each of us has treasures we may not even realize. It's all about knowing where to look. And if you're smart about it, you just might uncover a fortune hiding in plain sight. Imagine holding in your hand a small, seemingly ordinary coin that could change your entire financial future. Yes, a coin you might have tossed aside without a second thought could actually be worth up to $1.3 million. Intrigued? You're about to discover how one humble 1988 Jefferson Nickel, the D Mint mark, can turn into the ultimate treasure hidden right in plain sight. But don't leave too soon, because in the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly why this coin could be worth more than a house, what makes it so valuable, and most importantly, how you can find one in your own collection. Let's rewind to 1988. In Denver, Colorado, the U.S. Mint released a batch of Jefferson Nickels stamped with the D Mint mark, your typical 5-cent coin. At first glance, there was nothing extraordinary about it. But fast forward a few decades, and collectors and coin enthusiasts discovered that a very select few of these nickels weren't so typical. A rare flaw, a subtle error, was found on only a handful of these coins. And this flaw, this tiny imperfection, is precisely what makes some of these 1988 D Monticello nickels worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Can you imagine that? A nickel's worth, multiplied a millionfold. But here's the kicker, not every 1988 D nickel holds this extraordinary value, and distinguishing one of these prized coins isn't easy. This is where most collectors get it wrong. So, are you ready to learn what actually makes a Jefferson nickel from 1988 worth $1 million? Stay with me, you won't want to miss this. So, what exactly is it that turns this nickel from just another coin in your drawer into $1 million masterpiece? The answer lies in the minting process. Now, for anyone who's new to collecting, every coin in the US is stamped using dies, which are metal stamps that imprint the design onto the coin. When these dies are used repeatedly, they wear down, creating tiny inconsistencies in the design. In the case of the 1988 D Jefferson Nickel, a very limited number have an error in the Monticello design on the back, often referred to as a full step error. And here's where things get intense. The difference between a regular nickel and $1 million one could be as tiny as a fraction of a millimeter. Only a trained eye, or better yet, a professional appraiser, can identify this full step error. Imagine, something you need a magnifying glass to see could mean the difference between spare change and a fortune. But before we get into how to identify these coins, let me ask you, have you ever wondered if any of those coins collecting dust in your drawer might be worth something? Because here's the truth, many people throw away potential fortunes simply because they don't know what to look for. Just think about it. One moment, you're ready to buy a coffee with a nickel you grabbed out of your junk drawer, and the next, you find out that same nickel could buy you a whole cafe. Funny how things turn out, right? So, how can you identify this valuable 1988 D Mint marked Jefferson nickel? Here's the part you don't want to miss. But before we dive in, if you're already feeling a bit of a thrill, just imagine what it would feel like to actually find one of these coins. Keep watching, because the next part will tell you exactly what to look for, down to the tiniest detail. Now, let's get into identifying the 1988 D Mint marked Jefferson nickel. The first step is to examine the Monticello building on the coin's reverse side. Yes, that's Thomas Jefferson's famous home. Under magnification, the full steps should appear sharply detailed, with no breaks, gaps, or blurs. Coins with this full step error are rare and pristine, the kind of quality that serious collectors dream of. But be warned, spotting these details isn't easy. Many people miss it, thinking they've found a fortune, only to realize it's just a common nickel. You have to be precise, patient, and thorough. You might be wondering, where are people even finding these coins? Some are tucked away in old collections, others in the pocket change of thrift store purchases, and believe it or not, some folks have discovered theirs in rolls from banks. Yes, banks. But here's the thing, this golden opportunity could disappear. With every passing day, more of these rare coins get claimed, identified, and purchased by collectors. Imagine the look on the teller's face if you asked them for a roll of nickels and found a $1.3 million prize inside. Now that's a lottery ticket no one saw coming, so, as you go about your day, remember that fortunes can be hidden right in your pocket. Keep an eye out, and maybe even take a closer look at those jars of change gathering dust at home. But before you rush off, there's one last, crucial piece of advice that could make or break your coin hunting journey. This final tip could be the difference between selling your coin at market value and walking away with far, far more. Before you even think of selling, consider getting your coin professionally appraised. Many collectors lose out on the full value of their finds simply because they rushed the process. An expert can verify the coin's authenticity, confirm its mint error, and determine the true value it holds. And if you do find yourself holding a 1988 D Jefferson Nickel with that rare Monticello error, remember this: you're holding not just a piece of history, but a treasure worth protecting and showcasing. So, whether you're just starting to explore your coin collection or have been a collector for years, this journey is about more than just finding wealth. It's about rediscovering history, legacy, and the incredible hidden stories that pass through our hands every day. If this video inspired you to dig through your coin collection, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might have a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. And subscribe for more insights into the treasures that might just be hiding in your own home. Imagine reaching into your pocket and pulling out $1 million. Hard to believe, right? But if you're holding a 1998 D Jefferson Nickel, your next move might be life-changing. Now you might think, really? A nickel, worth over $1 million? But that's the thing about rare coins. They often don't look like much until you uncover their true value. Today, we're diving deep into the world of rare coins to explore why this humble, everyday coin could be worth far more than you've ever imagined. And if you've got old jars or drawers full of nickels lying around, pay close attention. You may have a small fortune just waiting to be discovered. When was the last time you looked closely at the change in your pocket? You'd be surprised how many valuable coins go unnoticed every day. So, could one of them be yours? Let's find out. Before we uncover why this particular nickel could be worth $1 million, let's first get to know a bit about its background. The Jefferson Nickel, introduced in 1938, was designed to honor Thomas Jefferson and has become a staple of American currency. But certain mint years have unique characteristics, making them extremely valuable to collectors. The 1998 D Jefferson Nickel is one of those coins. Produced at the Denver Mint, the 1998 D Nickel's seemingly typical design actually hides a mystery, a rare combination of minting errors and subtle differences in metal composition. It's these flaws that can turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. The value, however, lies in the details, which most people miss entirely. And here's the thing that gives this story an edge. Most of these nickels were lost in circulation, sitting in pockets, jars, or even discarded. Imagine knowing that while most coins lost value with time, this one only grew in worth. But what makes this nickel so valuable? And more importantly, how can you tell if your nickel is worth a fortune? Well, here's where things get interesting. To understand the worth of this elusive coin, we need to consider a few crucial factors. And don't worry, I'll make it simple. First, the condition. Like all rare coins, the 1998 D Monticello Jefferson Nickel becomes more valuable if it's in pristine condition. If you have a coin that hasn't been passed from hand to hand, you're already ahead. But there's more than just condition. Pay attention to the mint mark, that tiny D under the date. Denver Mint coins can carry unusual variations from year to year. And with this particular coin, subtle errors in the Monticello design, yes, even a tiny detail on that building, make all the difference. Here's where it gets truly exciting. Some of these 1998 D nickels have an accidental double strike or a rare metal mixture, making them virtually one of a kind. It's the kind of mistake that happens once in a generation. So, let's talk about the number you've been waiting for, the market value. What would someone actually pay for one of these coins? The 1998 D Monticello Jefferson Nickel's current market value can reach up to, wait for it, $1.1 million. That's not a hypothetical number, either. In recent years, high-profile collectors have been aggressively bidding for rare coins, especially ones with unique stories like this. If you're sitting on one of these nickels, holding onto it could be a game-changer. Imagine cashing in something you might have overlooked, a nickel that can change your life. The demand for these rare coins is only rising. As collectors scramble to acquire pieces of history, the value of these coins climbs. This means there's no better time to act than now. But what if you don't have one of these coins yet? Does that mean you're out of luck? Not quite. There are ways to find and even buy rare coins that can still turn a handsome profit. But before we wrap up, Let's quickly go over a few crucial tips on where to start looking and what to do if you think you've found one of these hidden treasures. Footage of people searching old jars, visiting coin dealers, browsing online auctions. If you're new to the world of coin collecting, start by checking those old piggy banks, jars, and pockets. You never know where a rare coin might be hiding. And if you're considering investing in rare coins, visit reputable coin dealers or attend coin shows. They're often goldmines for hidden treasures. Rare coins like the 1998 nickel are out there, but finding them takes patience, knowledge, and a little luck. It may seem like a long shot, but if you've got one in your collection, that single nickel could turn your life upside down. So, whether you're a coin collector or just curious, take a closer look at the coins you come across. Imagine knowing that every coin you check could hold life-changing value. And don't wait. Rare coins like these aren't going to be around forever. Now, you might be wondering, could I really have $1 million coin in my pocket? The answer could be waiting right in front of you. It's time to take a look and maybe uncover the fortune you didn't even know you had.